Welcome back for round 4 of Grid Series. If you've missed any of the previous rounds, click the banner in the top right to see the playlist. The series is made up of 5 rounds this time, with your 2 lowest scoring rounds being dropped from your total. Across the 3 weight classes, 60 points are up for grabs. We might all be on track together, but we are battling for our own points. For round 4, TeamSport have introduced a brand new format, calling it Grid GP. We started with a 10-minute qualifying session, which led us into a 15-minute sprint race. We then had a second qualifying session, but only 1 lap for a final 25-minute race. I know a lot of my viewers are younger than me, but I remember the 1-lap qualifying being introduced to Formula 1 back in 2003. With 8 drivers in my group for the traditional qualifying session, I jumped into KARTS 16 and headed out. After setting a few mid-58 second laps, I could feel the kart starting to lose power, so I headed back into the pits and swapped into KARTS 18, leaving me enough time for a few laps. Finally getting that time down to a 58.137. That was good enough for second place of those 8 drivers, just 5 thousandths slower than James, currently leading the middleweight class. With the group split again based on lap time, I wasn't to be on track with James, so I knew what I had to do. I lined up in 5th place for the sprint to see what I could manage. With a little encouragement, I got the car off the line and held my place into turn 1, although I get a very slow exit. Sam gestures to work together to move forwards. But Sam doesn't look to be making much progress, and he's gone slow through the complex. I draw alongside and pass going into the hairpin instead. The other 3 are still racing close together, so can I catch back up? By lap 7, I have started to close the gap down, albeit slowly. and I close it some more by setting the second fastest lap of the race. By lap 13, the question is, what gap? I've caught right up, but can I find a way past any of them? Isaac put his nose up the inside of Lily, but not enough to get in front. I moved to the outside as that's where the gap is, but neither of us can make anything of it. We crossed the line all rather closely for the final time, but there is no checkered flag. The yellow lights appeared just before the turn 5 hairpin, almost missed by some of us. That was a late call. Up one place in that sprint race then. That'll do good, I'm sure. I get allocated kart 15 for the 1 lap qualifying, and we're sent out in small groups, about 20 seconds apart. We're not allowed to go too slowly on our outlaps so that we don't bunch up too much. As the first group of drivers begin to return after setting their laps, I'm waved out first from our group.
What the hell is this?
I immediately didn't like the kart. But I begin my one and only lap by going wide at turn 1, the lack of tyre warming on the outlap hurting me there. Despite the messy start, I manage a 57.7 and it's good enough for second place of my group. So it's the final race for the evening then. I'm allocated kart 22 for this one with 8 drivers on track. Starting on pole. With a decent reaction to the lights, I'm able to hold on to first place through turn 1. Finn is keeping up behind, but I'm not really under pressure at this stage. Finn is clearly in a quicker car. He's now hitting the back of me quite regularly. After a few more hits towards the end of the lap, I get a huge one into turn 1. Unfortunately, it hurt. I was really struggling with my back on this evening, and the contact was pretty severe and just seemed to catch me at the wrong angle. Thankfully, Finn does back off for a little bit, so I'm able to concentrate on working through the pain. A red flag appears and I'm looking forward to a quick rest. Finn does pull alongside and apologise, which is also
It
nice.
just caught me out. What? It caught me by surprise. You're fine.
It's not a long break though, could have done with a bit more. Finn did back off until lap 10, when he clearly got bored of sitting behind me once again. He gets a nose up the inside of top pit's bend, so I have to leave him some space before he goes up the inside at turn 5 with little that I can do to defend. Darcy tries to follow him through, but I can hold her off at least. So with Finley disappearing into the distance, my focus is now on keeping Darcy behind. That was my fastest lap of this race, but 3 of the 6 drivers behind me did manage to go quicker. I know I'm under pressure. Lap 15 sees another red flag and another quick rest for my old age back. A penalty is given to one of the drivers behind me, although I'm not sure what it's for. And that was the race. Darcy was able to keep the pressure on, but was never really in a position to make a decent move to pass. I was able to keep with my high 57-second laps to hold on to my second place. I really enjoyed this format, particularly the one-shot qualifying element, despite me messing it up slightly. Let's take a look at the points before we head into the final round. For the lightweights, that's under 75 kilos, we've got Finley taking 20 points, Lily on 19 and Ella with 18. For the middleweights, under 90 kilos, I've taken the full 20 points for this round. James had a bit of bad luck with karts and only managed 19 points, Alec took 18 for his efforts, Dalton and Martin weren't able to take part. In the heavyweight round over 90 kilos, Darren took the perfect 20 once again. Ben was in second for 19 points and Dan took 18. That leaves just one more round to go, so be sure to join me tomorrow for the ace final round of Grid Series. Cheers.